What's up everybody, Brandon Johnson here again, and thanks for joining me. Today we're taking a look at the classic old-time fiddle tune, Fiddler's Dram. So this is your standard, kind of intermediate, advanced level fiddle tune. So of course originally fiddle tunes weren't meant to be played on the guitar, and they were adapted through the years by, great guitar players out there to kind of emulate the melody of what the fiddle players were actually playing. And there's a really, really cool version of it that Tony Rice and Norman Blake did. And it uses some really, really cool intervals that don't really require you to move away from the first position, which lends itself really well to playing really, really fast. So we're going to be playing this tune out of Capo 2, out of the C position, which is going to put us in the key of D. And there's a little bit of chord movement going on here, which we'll also cover in this lesson, the rhythm and the chord section. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let's check it out. All right, let's take a look at measure number 1 of Fiddler's Dram now. So we're looking at a 4-note pickup here. And the first note we see is a 16th note on the 1st fret B. We're going to play that on a downstroke. We're going to follow that up really quickly with an open G. And then from there we have 8th notes going into measure number 1. So what I did there is I played the 1st fret B with my index finger, open G, and then with my middle finger here, I hit that 2nd fret G on a downstroke, and then an upstroke on the open B. So that's your pickup measure. That's your 4-note pickup. And the reason I like to play the B string with my index and the G with my middle is because we're kind of playing out of this C chord position here, the beginning of measure number 1. And you'll see right there at the beginning of measure number 1, we're landing on a downstroke on the 1st fret B. And then we're just going to kind of repeat kind of a little bit of the theme of that kind of first pickup measure that we had there, that first series of notes. So it's going to be a 1st fret B, open G, and then we're going to follow that up with a 1st fret B, open G again. And that's down, up, downstroke, upstroke. So right after that open G there, we're going to quickly go to the 3rd fret D on a downstroke. And this is where we're going to get into our F chord position here. So you see that F chord there above kind of the 2nd half of the first measure. So there's your 3rd fret D. Now we're going to do a double downstroke here. And that double downstroke is going to be over the F major chord, or the F major chord shape. And we're going to play a downstroke on the 3rd fret D and a downstroke on the 2nd fret D, followed by an upstroke on the open B. So these are 16th notes. We're getting into kind of a little bit of a faster kind of attack situation here. And then you'll see that 1st fret B there after that open B. And then we're going to descend here. Again, we're kind of playing in this kind of F triad shape here. But right after that 1st fret B, we're going to start to descend now. And we're going to descend on the G string, 2nd fret to open. And then we're going to go to the D string with our ring finger here. And we're going to play 3rd fret D, 2nd fret D, and then back to 3rd fret D again. And that's the end of measure number 1. Okay, and that's going to lead us into measure number 2. Okay, so looking at measure number 2 here, we're playing over a C chord again. We're going to start on the open G on a downstroke. That's on an 8th note. So we just came out of a long series of 16th notes. And then this open G here on an eighth note is going to break up the two sections a little bit, or the two measures a little bit. And then we're going to hit second fret G on a downstroke again, so another double downstroke there, which is pretty typical with Tony Rice's playing. You see a lot of those kind of double downstrokes. Okay, and then we have second fret G, open B, first fret B. So we're kind of repeating some patterns here that we had before. And then just like we had in measure number 1, we're going to start to descend on the second fret G to open, third fret D, second fret D, and then that second fret D right there, that's going to be your G chord. I'm going to go to G right there. And then we're going to go to our third fret A on an upstroke, open D, second fret A, and then third fret A, which is just kind of a cool little, kind of interval going into the C chord there. And then right after that, right when we hit that C chord for the very last quarter note, we're just going to throw in that open D, second fret D, open G. Okay, and that open G there is going to lead us either into the A part again, because we have a repeat sign right over these two measures. So in that case, you would just quickly go right back to that first fret B, and you would just play the phrase from the first measure again. So let's demonstrate how that's done. Let's play the A part now with the repeat sign, so we can kind of practice these two measures together, but then also how these measures repeat as well, because you don't actually play the pickup measure when you hit the repeat sign, you just go right into measure number 1. So let's play measures 1 and 2 now with the repeat sign, all the way through to the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's going to lead us into part B.